It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. The story begins with Lily Bloom sitting on the ledge of a Boston rooftop, reflecting on life, death, and her complicated feelings following the funeral of her father, Andrew Bloom, the recently deceased and widely adored mayor of her small hometown in Maine. Lily didn't share the town's adoration. Her father was abusive towards her mother, Jenny, throughout Lily's childhood, a secret hidden behind their public facade. Lily delivered a controversial eulogy, or rather, an anti-eulogy, where she stood silently at the podium, unable to voice a single great thing about him, before being ushered away. Seeking solace and silence, she found this rooftop using Google Earth. Her piece is interrupted by the forceful arrival of a man onto the roof. He's tall, well-built, clearly distressed, and proceeds to viciously kick a patio chair before lighting a joint. He eventually notices Lily, startling him. He asks her name, his deep voice resonating unexpectedly within her. He introduces himself as Ryle Kincaid, a handsome, well-dressed neurosurgeon nearing the end of his residency. He seems concerned seeing her near the ledge and asks her to come down. They strike up an unusual conversation, deciding to share naked truths, raw, unfiltered thoughts and confessions they wouldn't normally voice. Lily reveals her difficult relationship with her abusive father, her confusing feelings about his death, and a disastrous eulogy. She also shares her unfortunate full name, Lily Blossom Bloom, and her dream of opening a unique floral shop despite having a business degree. Ryle shares the trauma of losing a young patient that day due to parental negligence with a firearm, his frustration with the parents, his aversion to marriage and children, and his intense ambition to be the best neurosurgeon. The conversation becomes increasingly intimate, culminating in Ryle bluntly stating his desire for her, though he accepts she isn't interested in a one-night stand. Just as the tension peaks and Ryle begins to tentatively touch her, his phone rings, calling him away for a hospital emergency. Before leaving, he snaps a picture of her on the lounge chair, a memento of their brief, intense encounter, leaving Lily alone again, strangely affected by the encounter. The narrative shifts briefly as Lily, back in her apartment, reads through old diaries she addressed to Ellen DeGeneres. These entries detail her teenage years in Maine, specifically her relationship with Corrigan, a homeless boy, slightly older than her who secretly lived in an abandoned house behind hers. The diaries chronicle how she befriended him, brought him food, allowed him to shower at her house when her parents weren't home, and how their bond deepened amidst her own troubled home life, particularly the nights her father became violent with her mother. She recalls giving Atlas clothes, including some belonging to her father, and how they found solace in watching Ellen's show together. The entries reveal Atlas's difficult past, estranged from his father, kicked out by his stepfather, and struggling to survive while finishing high school. Lily's guilt over her father's abuse and her mother's acceptance of it intertwines with her growing feelings for Atlas and her worry for his well-being, especially as winter approached. 6 months pass. Lily uses her inheritance from her father to purchase a rundown building in Boston, finally pursuing her dream of opening a floral shop. Her mother, Jenny, who has since moved closer to Boston, visits the site, expressing hesitant support. While there, a chic, energetic young woman named Allysa walks in, mistakenly thinking an old help wanted sign is current. Allysa expresses a passion for flowers and design, offering to help Lily renovate for free. Lily, needing the help, hires her hourly instead. Allysa, who reveals she's bored despite not needing a job, dives in enthusiastically. They quickly bond, brainstorming a unique concept for the shop, brave and bold, focusing on darker, edgier floral arrangements, catering even to those who might typically dislike flowers. While clearing out the back office, Lily falls from a chair while stacking crates, badly injuring her ankle. Allysa calls her husband, Marshall, and her brother for help. When they arrive, Lily is stunned to see that Alyssa's brother is Ryle Kincaid, the neurosurgeon from the rooftop. Both Ryle and Marshall are wearing comical onesies, having come from a bar promotion. Ryle, slightly drunk but professional, examines Lily's ankle, determining it's sprained but not broken. The reunion is charged. Ryle admits he still wants her, much to Alyssa's horror when she overhears. Ryle wraps Lily's ankle, advising her to stay off it. He reaffirms his stance on wanting only casual encounters, while Lily reiterates she wants more. They agree it's best to avoid each other, though the attraction is palpable. As Ryle leaves, he seems conflicted, reinforcing the complex tension between them. Lily recovers at her apartment, irritated by her roommate Lucy, but thankful her mother is nearby now. She continues reading her diaries. The entries detail Atlas getting sick and Lily caring for him, hiding him in her room overnight. They reveal Atlas's plan to move to Boston to live with an uncle, a prospect that devastates Lily, despite knowing it's best for him. Their relationship intensifies, sharing their first kisses and intimate moments, hiding their bond from her parents. The diaries recount Katie, a girl on the bus, mocking Atlas, and Lily defending him, solidifying their connection as each other's favorite person. Atlas bakes Lily cookies, revealing his passion for cooking, and carves her a wooden heart from the oak tree in her yard, a cherished gift. The entries then describe the horrifying night Lily's father brutally attacked her mother, attempting to assault her. Atlas, hidden in Lily's room, stopped Lily from intervening with a knife, but was discovered by Jenny, who refused to call the police, reinforcing Lily's despair about her mother's situation. The final entries car Atlas's departure for Boston and the military, their painful goodbye, and his promise to find her someday when his life was good enough, leaving Lily heartbroken but clinging to hope. Back in the present, Lily spends a week recovering, focusing on the shop plans with Alyssa's help. One evening, Ryle shows up at Lily's apartment, having frantically knocked on 29 doors to find her. Exhausted after a long shift, he confesses he can't stop thinking about her and begs her, literally on his knees, to sleep with him just once, convinced it will break the obsession. Lily, flustered and annoyed, but also drawn to his intensity, agrees, but tells him to shower first. When she emerges, ready, she finds Ryle fast asleep on her bed, still in his scrubs. Amused and slightly disappointed, she takes a picture of them together and falls asleep beside him. He wakes her gently the next morning, apologizes profusely for falling asleep, reiterates that this encounter changes nothing about his aversion to relationships, and leaves, promising it's the last she'll hear from him. Lily feels a pang of disappointment, but resolves to focus on her shop. The floral shop, named Lily Blooms, opens. Allysa and Lily are thrilled. Their very first customer is Ryle. He's impressed by the transformation and buys a bouquet of purple lilies. He writes a cryptic message, "Make it stop," on the card, and seemingly confused, addresses it back to the shop. Allysa thinks he's an idiot, but Lily understands the gesture and secretly keeps the flowers, her feelings for Ryle deepening despite his confusing signals. Allysa invites Lily to her birthday party. Lily brings Devin, a gay former colleague, as a buffer. At the party, held in Allysa and Marshall's luxurious top-floor apartment, Lily meets Ryle's parents, who are visiting from England and are warm and welcoming, instantly easing Lily's anxieties. Ryle is present, looking dashing in a suit, and the tension between him and Lily is high, especially when he notices Devin. Lily confronts Ryle about a blurry photograph hanging on the wall, the one he took of her on the rooftop months ago. Angered by his mixed signals, the flowers, the photo, the jealousy over her date, Lily storms up to the rooftop. Ryle follows, asking guests for privacy. Lily confronts him about his confusing behavior. Ryle admits he wants her, but doesn't want to want her. Lily explains that his actions hurt because she likes him, and his inconsistency is painful. Defeated, she starts to leave, but Ryle intercepts her, sweeping her into his arms and carrying her back into the apartment, past shocked onlookers, directly to his bedroom. He kisses her passionately, finally breaking through their impasse. However, Lily stops him, demanding clarity. Ryle confesses his deep attraction, his fear of relationships, but admits she makes him want to be different. He asks how to prove himself. Lily, wary, tells him, "Don't have sex with me." He agrees, locks the door, and they spend the night chastely sleeping side by side. The next morning, they talk with Allysa, and Ryle confirms his seriousness, defending Lily to his sister, who expresses concern about his track record. Ryle and Lily agree to a real relationship, no longer just a trial run. Their relationship blossoms over the next few weeks. One evening, Lily surprises Ryle by cooking dinner wearing only an apron. Playfulness leads to intimacy, but later, a discussion about Ryle's career aspirations, specifically a prestigious fellowship in England and a subsequent job offer at the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, sparks their first major argument. Ryle wants to move. Lily is devastated at the thought of leaving Boston, her shop, her mother, and Allysa. The fight escalates, and Ryle knocks a vase off a table. Recognizing his anger, he walks out to cool down, returning an hour later calmer. He apologizes and tells Lily he chooses her over the job offer, prioritizing her happiness and agreeing to stay in Boston. Lily feels reassured, believing they can navigate his temper together. One evening, Ryle comes home drunk after finding the Better in Boston magnet Atlas gave Lily years ago. He confronts her aggressively. Lily lies about where she got it. The situation escalates in the kitchen. Ryle reads a newspaper article about Atlas and his restaurant, Bibs, Better in Boston, where Atlas hints the name honors someone special. Ryle finds Lily's old journals and the wooden heart Atlas carved. Enraged and jealous, feeling Atlas's presence everywhere, Ryle violently grabs Lily, bites her collarbone where her heart tattoo is, and pushes her onto the bed, attempting to force himself on her. Lily screams and fights back, biting his tongue. Ryle instinctively headbutts her, knocking her momentarily unconscious. When she comes to, he's filled with panic and remorse, apologizing profusely. He tends to her injuries, but the damage is profound. Lily, terrified and heartbroken, recognizes the pattern of abuse she swore she'd never tolerate. She feels utterly broken, but allows Ryle to care for her, clinging to the hope that this was a terrible mistake fueled by alcohol and jealousy. The next night, they attend dinner at Bibs with Allysa and Marshall. Lily is anxious about seeing Atlas. Atlas, working as the chef, appears tableside. He notices Lily's injuries and Ryle's bandaged hand from the previous night's struggle. The tension is thick. Later, Lily confronts Atlas in the restroom hallway. He urges her to leave Ryle, recognizing the signs of abuse. Ryle discovers them together, leading to a violent confrontation between Ryle and Atlas. Atlas throws them out of his restaurant. Back at their apartment parking garage, Ryle confronts Lily, demanding the truth. She explains the situation, but the trust is shattered. Ryle expresses his fear of losing her and his hatred for the pain the situation causes. They cling to each other, both hurting, Ryle professing his love. The following day, Lily stays at Atlas's house for safety and space, finding out she's pregnant during a hospital visit for her injuries. She keeps the pregnancy secret. Ryle, filled with remorse, reveals his childhood trauma. At age 6, he accidentally shot and killed his older brother, Emerson, an event that triggers uncontrollable rage he struggled with his entire life, undergoing therapy since childhood. He insists this isn't an excuse, but his reality. Lily, though empathetic, struggles with forgiveness and fear. She makes him promise to walk away when angry. Things remain tense, but functional. Ryle respects Lily's boundaries. Weeks later, on the day Lily's water breaks, Ryle rushes her to the hospital. The birth of their daughter is fast and overwhelming. As they hold their baby girl, Lily decides to name her Emerson, Emmy, Dory Kincaid. In this moment of profound love for her daughter, Lily realizes she cannot stay with Ryle. Recalling her mother's cycle of abuse, she asks Ryle what he would advise their daughter if she were in an abusive relationship. Heartbroken, Ryle admits he'd tell her to leave. Understanding dawns, and though devastated, he accepts her decision. Lily tells Emmy, "It stops here. With me and you. It ends with us." They agree to co-parent, but end their marriage. The epilogue jumps forward nearly a year. Lily is thriving as a single mother to 11-month-old Emmy and running her successful floral shop. She maintains a cordial co-parenting relationship with Ryle. One day, while rushing to drop Emmy off with Ryle, she literally runs into Atlas on the street. They share a brief, warm exchange. He learns Emmy's name and is touched by her middle name, Dory. Just keep swimming. After dropping Emmy off, Lily realizes she can't walk away from Atlas again. She runs back, finds him, and tells him, "Okay, I'm ready." Atlas embraces her, telling her she can finally stop swimming. They've reached the shore. The ending implies the beginning of a new, hopeful chapter for Lily and Atlas, built on their enduring connection and mutual respect, having finally navigated the turbulent waters of their pasts. If you enjoyed this book breakdown, please consider liking this video and subscribing to get notified when we post our next book.